As someone who grew up in Kent County, I was used to eating out of my grandparents' gardens, and my grandfather kept turtles and bees and grew his own tomatoes. And I remember spending my summers helping both of my grandmothers can and freeze and put up for the winter. So I always liked that aspect of gardening, that tradition of knowing where your food comes from, handling your food, growing it, harvesting it, preserving it, and then serving it, for special occasions at Thanksgiving. I think a lot of it happened because of the energy crisis, and I realized how far my food was traveling before it even got to the Acme or the Food Lion. And I'll never forget the afternoon that Chris brought home a bag full of Colchester carrots, and the whole kitchen exploded with the fragrance of carrots. And I'm saying, oh my God, I've never smelled a carrot before.
Yeah.
Because when you open up the cellophane, there's no comparison. A big part of it is health. And I recognize that our nation is in trouble with childhood obesity, adult diabetes, cancer is prevalent, especially in Kent County. I'm saying it's got to be what we're eating. I mean, you go to the grocery store and you see shelves upon shelves upon shelves of processed food, and it's killing us. So I really was drawn to becoming more involved with the CSA because of the educational component, where we can teach young generations the importance of food choices, help them understand where their food is coming from, how it's grown, and why it's important that they eat closer to the earth and avoid processed food. Well, Teresa Mychik has been the farm manager at Colchester Farm. I think this is her 11th year. She was in the Peace Corps in Guatemala. She is the most hardworking woman I know, because really she's the teacher for the apprentices who come and to work for the summer. And I think it's so important because we're losing our farmers. I mean, the average age of American farmer today is 57 years old. So if we don't encourage other young people to come along and take up the rake, as it were, we're all going to be going hungry. Our business model is based on the shareholder model, where you invest in the farm at the beginning of the season and then reap the rewards. We're trying to find that balance. So the Chestertown market's going really well. We started taking produce to the Lewis market in Delaware last year, and that's going really well. If you don't want to commit to a weekly pickup for 26 weeks, you can sign up for a season, a spring season or a fall season. If you don't want to pick up 26 weeks for the season, you can pick up 13 weeks. And well, we have some members who have been with us for 8 or 10 years for the duration, and that's great. So we want to hold on to them, but we also want to encourage other shareholders. Well, at Washington College, we want to raise $10 million for a new academic building. At Colchester Farm, we want to find $1,000 to buy a potato digger. You talk about being able to make an impact, a big impact with a little bit of money. You can really do that at Colchester. We want to continue focusing on education. We want to become more economically viable, whether that means examining the 134 varieties of crops from an ROI and saying, is it worth it? Is it worth to spend this much time and effort if we're only going to garner this amount? So that's something that Teresa is weighing. Right. So right now, I think we're operating full tilt for 15 acres with the staff that we have. And we are a working board. I mean, I've gone out there and weeded